Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
These are not good dates to run webinars. I've always joked and said that the 31st of August is the accountant's Halloween. I don't know if anybody else feels that way as well. It is just an absolutely chaotic day. You know, if you're doing attorney trust audits, today's the deadline. Technically, the February year ends are supposed to be signed off by today. If you're doing public sector work, then the MFMA, your municipality financials have to be signed off and ready for audit from tomorrow. Provisional taxes, obviously that goes without saying. And I'm sure in the chat box, you can add another 5 different deadlines that are due today. So it is really a crazy, chaotic day. In this time slot alone, I'm triple booked. I've got 3 different meetings I'm supposed to try and juggle all at the same time, and I've chosen you as I would. I definitely have more fun coming and chatting to you, and I'm sure that many of you are using me like a radio today, where I've got a sneaky suspicion that I'm playing in the background while you are frantically getting some work done. And I will not hold it against you today. I totally understand. But I see that there's an extension. Is that Letty that's popped that in? No, Dirkus. Dirkus, so good to see you again. So the LPC has given an extension on the audit reports. Okay. One of the interesting things with these extensions, by the way, is that this is a grace thing that the LPC are doing because the Act hasn't changed. When they give you an extension like this, much like if CIPC ever did it, which they haven't been doing it lately, it's just simply to say they won't penalize you or won't hold you. You know, it won't come after you with guns blazing. But these deadlines are actually kind of funny because they actually can't change them like we would like them to, unless they go to Parliament and get the Act changed, because these deadlines are actually entrenched in law. So the regulators basically just say they won't penalize you, they'll exercise a bit of grace, but the actual deadline doesn't change because the Act hasn't changed. But welcome. Take a breath. You've got a couple of hours with me, even if I am playing in the background. But I'm very honored and grateful that I am with you now. So today's session is a bit of a hodgepodge session. There's all sorts of interesting information in it. Please do drop your comments and your questions in it. As you can tell already, I do check and read them. I do keep my eye on them as we go through. A bit of housekeeping, I will give you a comfort break at 10 o'clock, around about, just to go grab a fresh cup of coffee and stretch your legs, check your phone, try and dodge anybody who's looking for you, so you can take a little bit of me time for 5 minutes, and then we'll carry on with today's session. As I said today, there's one act that I'm wanting to go through in a little bit of detail, which is the Cybercrimes Act. I am quite interested in that act, just because I think it's skirting around the edges. Okay, and we all focused on POPI and we focused on other acts, and there's the Cybercrimes Act which has snuck in this year, which I'm not too sure people are actually stopping to really think about. So that's the one little nuggets that I want to bring to you. There are lots of other little bits and pieces, a lot of articles that have caught my attention. With Letty and I playing tag and relay racing with the MCLU, there might be a bit of overlap between the two of us, and I think that just helps you gain a different understanding and a better understanding between us. But you know, just this is a legislation law compliance update. Okay, so I've got a couple of articles that I found that also just in general life I think are useful. So there's me on the other side, looking a bit different. Every time I see a picture, I think lockdown here, but that is me. If you want to know who and what and why I am, I think by now most of you are fairly familiar with me and know who I am in the grand scheme of life. Okay, our course outline is pretty. Gloria, good to see you here too. Our course outline is pretty. Hey, Gloria, you're seeing me on my own today, not with my other counterpart. Our our course outline is pretty set. I have to say, for those of you that do know me, you should know that I am from the Midlands. I'm from KZN, I'm from Pietermaritzburg. And so the last 6 weeks have been quite a roller coaster ride for me, because we had all the unrest. We literally had it on my doorstep. We had all the looting and all the unrest, not even a couple of kilometers away from me. I had my husband out in the middle of the night patrolling the neighborhood. So it's been it's very close to home. For those of you that have been affected by it, you'll know exactly what I mean by it. And so I've got a couple of articles and I've got a couple of issues that have come up as a result of the unrest, which I found interesting. The other side of it with the unrest is that and I'm running a couple of training sessions. I know I'm doing a training session for SAAA on drafting financials during difficult times. I'm laughing, saying between COVID and the unrest and Eskom and everything else, South Africans are incredibly resilient. But we, it may have happened in Durban and Maritzburg and had billions and billions of rands worth of damages and losses, 150,000 jobs, which they've saying have wiped out of the economy. But the rest of the country is not unaffected by this. Okay, so there are knock-on effects for the rest of the country, which I think people need to stop and pay attention to, and that you may not realize that you're indirectly affected. But also from that, there are lessons that have come out of this, because this was so unexpected. Most of us went to bed on the 11th of July and did not expect to wake up on the 12th of July making international news. But there are lessons from the insurance industry. There are lessons from the Competitions Act. There are lessons from various different places that were highlighted during this period. Okay, that I do want to just raise your attention to as well. Lo and behold, should we ever have these challenges again, hopefully we will go into it a bit wiser and a bit better moving forward. Okay, so I do have a bit of a theme that runs through today. I also welcome your comments and your thoughts. And we still have COVID lingering. This third wave doesn't seem to have settled. This third wave, the numbers seem to ebb and flow and ebb and flow. I think we're going to be running into the fourth wave with the third wave still active. And again, I was just as I was coming into today's session, I was listening to CNN, and we were being discussed on CNN this morning with respect to COVID. So COVID is still alive and well. I'm hoping that you are vaccinated, because the quicker we are all vaccinated, the quicker we can get back to normal. The other side of, things like countries in Europe and that are fully vaccinated, they haven't had a death since March. Okay, so these are things to consider if we are wanting to get to be fully operational from an economic point of view, to be able to travel internationally, and to really just get on with life. So we've got some COVID issues which we need to unpack as well, and some of the lessons that we are learning through all of this as we move through it. And then I've got some other fun stuff to talk about as always. Okay. I've got a feeling I've spelled the quote name wrong, but anyway, I've been, again, my other favorite place to play is ethics. I do a lot of ethics training. I've done a lot of ethics training for SAAA. I've got a session coming up soon for SAAA, being a corporate citizen, and just being a professional accountant and what it means to be a citizen in the country. And this, it's always a matter of opinion, but I did really enjoy this, where if you care about what other people think, you'll always be their prisoner. With a lot of what's gone on, there are a lot of opinions, there are a lot of thoughts, there are a lot of, people have got very, very strong opinions. I recently, in the last 6 weeks as well, I went through COVID myself, and I got to be very aware of how strongly people think about it. What everybody's telling you what you should do and how you should do it, and it's really difficult to sift through all the information that comes at you to get to the real information and the real, what should you follow and what should you listen to. But the point here is that you have to make these decisions for yourself. You've got to act for yourself. You've got to act in terms of what is right for you, what is right for your business, what is right for your clients, and in a way that is ethical and upstanding, and in a way that you can live with yourself at the end of the day. And it's really, really hard when you are concerned all the time about what people think.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.